Hello, guys. I'm a little bit late. I am 7 minutes late. But that is how I roll. You know what? It always happens. Every time I schedule something at a certain time, something comes up. Something always comes up. And you know what? After doing this for so long, you just roll with the punches. So here I am, with kind of dealing with kind of a new little hairdo. I don't know. Not sure I'm digging it. But especially with my gray hairs. But anyways, here I am live. Hi guys. I'm going to just make sure that we are golden and this is actually happening live on YouTube. And chances are you catch the replay or you catch it live. But yesterday I went live talking about whether or not Facebook groups are dead. And
here I am.
Oh, well, there I am. Okay, yes. Talking about whether Facebook groups are dead. And, you know, it was a little insightful. But I got to share a little bit more than things about Facebook groups. But today, this is what came to me. Today, I really wanted to talk about how to have conversations that matter. And you'll just kind of laugh because how I come up with topics is not necessarily having a list of topics that I want to cover, that have everything to do with Facebook groups and blah, blah, blah. It really comes down to what is inspiring. What is inspiring me at this moment in time? And don't mind me if I cringe just a little bit every once in a while. I broke my ankle a week ago, and today it's just been really uncomfortable. So I'm cringing every once in a while. So anyway, so I always go live and share what speaks to me. And, you know, 99.9% of the time, it has to do with Facebook groups in the last 4 years. If you read my post, my blog post I wrote this morning, if you did not, let me know, and I'll just share the link with you. And if you catch this on the replay, let me know. I'll share the link with what I'm talking about. Even if this is like a year from now. So, talking about what inspires me to go live and talk to you about something, and I can always relate it to Facebook groups because that's what I teach. But it also relates to just handling yourself online. Now, it can be just having a conversation with a normal, regular person that has nothing to do with business. It has nothing to do with you selling something to them, and it has nothing to do with you bringing them into your group, or it has nothing to do with you connecting with them over business. It has everything to do with there's this it's a different world when you connect online with someone. And this is how I got inspired today. So I was sitting here and I'm like, what is going to come to me? What is going to come? Because I'm going live on YouTube for as many days as I possibly can in a row while being out with a broken ankle. So today's day number 2. So I'm looking around and I'm like, what is inspiring me? What is inspiring me? What do I need to share? What do I need to share on my heart right now? And this is how it is. But I'm gonna copy this link real quick and I'm gonna share it inside my group. If you're not already inside my Facebook group, please come and join us. The group is called Facebook Group Success for Coaches. And I talk about Facebook groups, I talk about communication, I talk about relationship building, I talk about all the things. I am there. This is my jam. This is my place. So, there I am. Okay, now come join me. All right, so let's talk about how to have conversations that matter. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you what my inspiration was. Here's my inspiration. I happen to have this book sitting right here that says we need to talk, how to have conversations that matter. But this book was sitting here. Now you can see how much I like books. I love audiobooks, but I love books. Most of them are personal development, and most of them I grab a few that are speaking to me that day, and I kind of set them down and I look through them. But these have been sitting on my desk for a few days, probably 2 weeks actually. I'll show you because this is kind of fun. I'll show you which ones they are. Maybe you've read them and maybe you haven't. Some of them are new, some of them are old. Here, there, in the camera. All right, let's see. There we go. Okay, I'll read them off to you. Your Best Year Yet by Ginny Ditzler. I kind of scrolled through this and I said, what, does anything inspire me to talk about this today? No, not really. So I put it down. Wayne Dyer, Real Magic. I haven't really opened this up much. I've had it for years, but every once in a while I'll pull it out, like scroll through it. Does something speak to me? Nope, not today. Built to Belong. Now this book is a brand new book and it actually wasn't cheap. I'll tell you that. I bought this a couple weeks ago. It was like $26. But here's the funny thing. I actually didn't even realize who wrote this book. Natalie Franke. And it's Discovering the Power of Community Over Competition. So why did I pick it up? Because I love community and I love connecting and I love relationship building, right? So I started reading it and I realized who actually wrote it. And now I can't remember oh, here it is. Rising Tide Society. Now, years and years ago, when I was diving into Instagram, I had looked into Rising Tide Society. It was like a hashtag that was used all the time. And so I knew of this society. And so it was the creator of that society who wrote this book. And so everything that she wrote so far, you can see I've actually read that much, was dead on with what my philosophy is as well. So I picked up that one and I said, no, it doesn't really connect with me today. That's not really what I want to talk about. And then I came across this book. And I really haven't dug into this book, but what stood out for me was how to have conversations that matter. And the reason that stuck out for me is that I really take pride in my conversations online. My conversations online come from, well, they come from the heart, really. But the reason why I take pride in this is that years ago, I had built this network marketing business. And as we all know, when Facebook was first growing, and we just really didn't know how to communicate with anyone. And so what we did was we would get into their direct message and we would send these messages. And it was, the happy birthday message that happened every year to the same person every year. And that was a way to connect, right? It was just touching that person for the day, right? It was just like, remember me. Or you would comment and like under someone's post just so that they saw your notification and that they would go back to your page and realize what you had going on. So I came from that world and it worked great in the beginning until people caught on. And people caught on and just, got really grossed out by it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I got grossed out by it because it was icky. And you would say, oh my gosh, what is she? There was always an agenda involved in why are you reaching out to me? There's got to be an agenda. There's got to be a reason why you're doing this. And we got really smart to that. And it became this really big turnoff. And there had been a lot of changes on social media that had occurred because of this practice. And I always took pride in teaching my own team how to communicate so that it wasn't icky. And what it really comes down to is reaching out with zero agenda. Okay? How is that possible? If you're building a business and you're reaching out to someone, how is that possible to reach out with zero agenda? Truthfully, you have an agenda because you're going to reach out to that person. But here's an example of that. I happen to be inside of a big Facebook group, and I think I shared this in a live video in my group a couple weeks ago. But I happen to be in a large entrepreneur group, and there was a woman who shared something in the comment thread that really connected with me. But it didn't connect with me in a way that I needed something from her or she needed something from me. It just really connected with me. And so rather than just walking away and saying, God, that was really cool, I dug in and I did a little Facebook stalking and I saw who she was and, what she was all about. And I was like, you know what? It would be such a bummer if I walked away from this person without connecting with her. Now, there's an agenda there to connect with her, but there was zero agenda to say, I need what you're offering, or you need what I'm offering. It was zero agenda. And so what I did was I reached out to her and I said just how much I connected with what she said in her comment. And that was it. And I hope that she had a nice day and that I really needed to reach out to her because I didn't want to lose track of her. Because in the future, you just never know. Her stuff pops up on my feed. I want to support her. I remember what she said. If something comes up in a conversation with somebody else, I can easily link that person to her. But if I hadn't reached out and just basically said hello, then I would have lost her in the shuffle. Or the opposite, if I were to have reached out to her with some sort of agenda, she would have sniffed that out. And guess what? She actually replied back and said how refreshing it was that there was no agenda attached to this message. And I was like, hey, that's how I roll. And so for years and years and years, my messages online have zero agenda attached. And you know how refreshing that is? Imagine if you had, one person reach out to you today and said, I simply just wish you a good day. Not even asking you, because we know this trick in the book, right? Hey, what do you have plans for this weekend? Hey, I'd love to hear what you have plans for this weekend. Like, I can sniff that out in a heartbeat. That is network marketing in a heartbeat. Like, oh gosh, she's just connecting just to connect. She has no interest in really hearing what I have going on this weekend. And this is so random because I haven't talked to her in forever. But instead, if you just reached out and said, OMG, I haven't talked to you forever. I just wish you a great Friday. And that's it. I hope you have an awesome Friday. And walk away. Think of how you would feel. You're like, gosh, was there an agenda there? And you go, well, there couldn't have been an agenda there because she just literally just said hi. And that was it. And you go, okay, that was kind of cool. And then you remember that. You remember that person. And here's the sad part about it is that you remember it because people don't do that. So how do you stand out? How do you stand out by having no agenda? Well, you stand out by having no agenda. And that's the difference, is that everyone on social media has a freaking agenda. I'm reaching out to you to see if you want to do this with me, if you want to be a part of this. I just got a message today from someone that someone from the past, I don't even really remember, and was like, I'm taking donations for something. Are you in? And I'm like, well, of course I'm not in because I haven't had a conversation with you in years. That's definitely not how to have conversations that matter. How to have conversations that matter is simply just saying hello. I mean, how easy is that? Not even happy birthday, because we know that happy birthday shows up on a calendar that says, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday. I must reach out to them. It's my business. I must reach out to them. I reach out to them every year. I mean, I have these messages in my inbox that you can see every single year. Boom, 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 boom. Like clockwork, there's that birthday message. That's with such an agenda. But if you randomly scroll through your Facebook group friends list, or even your member list, and you just say, I'm just giving you a high five, happy freaking Tuesday, guess what? You're instantly memorable. They're instantly going to pop into your feed and see what you have going on. And that's great. But here's the other thing, is if we talk about things like being grateful for things. I say this to myself all the time. For the longest time, I used to give myself crap for not having friends. Like for years, I have friends. Now, don't get me wrong. I have friends. I had high school friends. Here, I'm going to give you the lowdown of my friends. And maybe you can relate. I had high school friends. I played sports in high school. My high school friends were all the athletes that I played sports with. Very little friendship that was outside of that window. And that's just because I spent so much time on the, soccer field or tennis court or softball field one year. And so I had all these great friends. I had all these great experiences in high school that had everything to do with sports. Well, 30 years later, I just had my 31st year reunion. When I look at my friendships, I can go, God, I really didn't have that good of friends. I had the handful of friends, but I didn't have the friends of the whole school and that kind of thing. And then, so I used to kind of beat myself up with the fact that I didn't really have any friends. And then when I got married, I really kind of took on my husband's friends. And for 23 years, they were all my friends. Now, guess what happened? When we split up, I went into this deep, dark depression that I had no friends. And so I had to really use the skills that I had learned in my business to meet people and during a pandemic. So it's actually meet people online. Oh my gosh, how do you do that? Well, I use the skills that I had in business. And it's just simply stepping out of your comfort zone. For those of you who are introverts, people that know me now and have known me in the last 11 years would never believe that I was an introvert. But I truly am an introvert. And I was incredibly shy. And that's why I always gave myself the reason. The reason I didn't have any friends was I was so shy and I didn't want to commit to friendship and I didn't know where to find them. And I really just kind of kept to myself. And this was before the internet, right? But the internet had created all of these great friendships. Well, during that marriage, I had, I had started my business and I had become friends with all of these amazing people in this business. And it was a network marketing business. And I had friendships from, the customers of mine, the coaches on my team, and really my favorite friendships were those that were my peers, those who were also building their businesses because we could relate to each other. And I had these amazing friendships. Well, when my life began to crumble, about 5 years ago, I kind of lost those friendships because I was ashamed that I wasn't living the life that I was living before and the excitement and the energy that I had lived before. And I was kind of ashamed. And so since I wasn't really involved in that business anymore, I kind of stepped away from those friendships. And then I found myself in the same boat as before, feeling like I'm this introvert, but I know better because I'm actually an extrovert now. I'm this introvert in an extroverted body with no friends. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I make friends brand new from scratch? And so for the last 4 years, I've had to do that. And I've done that. And I have some amazing relationships and amazing friendships and even friendships in person. Can you believe that? By utilizing these skills, I've taken the be kind to people, have no agenda in the online space and taken it to the offline space. I joined a tennis club and I just put myself out there as far as I just was looking to meet people. And it's very, I could easily just not go hang out up there because I could sit at home and be an introvert. But instead I do hard things and I force myself to go. And now I'm developing these new in-person friends that I probably wouldn't have had if I had not built a business and I had not seen success in, having those conversations that matter. And now my inbox is full of just conversations that matter. I have Zoom calls with people conversations that matter. The people that have come in my life in this business, I've had conversations that matter. I remember them. I remember where they live. I remember what they do. I remember who they serve because me as a human being, that matters more than me converting into a sale, right? I have plenty of people that have purchased programs of mine, my signature program, my group coaching program, which I'm not doing currently, but they've purchased things of mine. But I have people that have been in my community since I started it from scratch that haven't purchased anything. And I still remember them, because just by remembering a few things about people, you can go so much further. And it still goes back to the no agenda. I literally just want to get to know you. I want to know 3 things about you. I want to know, where you live, whether you're a mom, what's the most craziest thing you've ever done? Like anything, just give me something. I mean, I have this list of craziness, and I like to say that I like to live bold and live without fear. And a lot of that has come from starting small and building these online relationships where it's just like, okay, I'm just going to have a conversation. I'm just going to say hi to someone. I'm just going to say hi to someone. And those just say hi to someone with zero agenda has led me to such a fulfilling life. A life where I am so grateful for all the friends that I have. And it's really cool to take a step back and go, wait a minute, you actually have friends. You were conditioned to think that you didn't have friends and that you had to rely on other people's friends, but actually you can be proud of the friendships you've built, even if it was online. If you were going to say, to someone, I have all these friends online, and they're like, oh yeah, but they're not in real life. No, they are in real life. I think about them all the time. If they were sitting in here, they were sitting on this chair, we would be having the same conversation as we had online. And you guys get that as well, because I'm sure that you've built some amazing conversations, some amazing friendships. So I'm here to say, don't be afraid to build those intimate relationships. Even if you have a group of like 3 people, just like reach out to them and give them a high five. I challenge you to do that. That's really what leads into the conversations that matter, because it's a trust thing. When you trust someone that has no agenda, it opens up the world for you. It's opened up the world for me. And I just want people to experience that as well. And, it's super simple. I've made it super simple for you. So let me know if you've done this. You probably already seen the icky messages, but if you're afraid to reach out to members of your group that you don't know and just to say hi and give them a high five, then speak up. Like, let's get you to be brave. I mean, it's what I did, and it's saved my life, really, in going through such a hard time. It's really saved my life. And it's just crazy to think that it was just because, sending direct messages that were not icky, and just how incredibly valuable that was to me, not even in a monetary sense, but in a social and mental health sense, that everybody wins. Everybody wins in this. So I hope that was helpful, guys. Give me a thumbs up if it is. Subscribe if you want to see more of just, I don't know what comes out. I'm going to grab some more books next time. It's like the tarot cards, right? It's like when you pull cards. I'm going to pull cards for people. We're going to just pull personal development books, and we're going to speak to that. And we're going to make it relate to, living our lives in this age, in this era, in this post-pandemic, kind of in the middle of pandemic still. And that's it. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me. And I wasn't even looking at the camera the whole damn time. All right, thanks for joining me, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.